Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. Jay, like I mentioned earlier, it is fight week. Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin De Los Santos, and it's time for us to do a prediction. Now, typically, I like to see the fighters weigh in before we do this prediction because I like to see them next to each other, size each other up to see if there's any differences versus what I've seen in terms of the tail of the tape. But we're going to go ahead and drop this one. Now, Jay, I've had the opportunity to see Edwin De Los Santos. I saw him against Valenzuela, as well as a number of other fights. And as I mentioned in another video, that I believe that he is a live dog and that this is going to be a dog fight for Shakur Stevenson. And there's a reason why I feel that way. When you look at Edwin De Los Santos, he is fast. He has power. He can transition from defense to offense very quickly. It is skill versus skill. And I mentioned earlier in the video that I believe that Shakur is going to have some challenges, specifically earlier in the fight, because if De Los Santos can connect early, he could cause Shakur some problems. I think he can hurt Shakur. Now, Shakur is an excellent fighter. He's good at controlling distance. He's defensively a wizard. But De Los Santos is probably going to be one of the faster fighters he's ever faced and probably one of the hardest hitting fighters he's ever faced. So I think he's a live dog. But in that video, Jay, specifically, I mentioned that I agree with Shakur Stevenson that it's going to take him 3 or 4 rounds to figure it out. And there's a reason why I specifically said that in that video. It is because I believe that Shakur will have some challenges with him, but it will be early. It will be early in the fight as he's adjusting to how quickly De Los Santos transitions from offense to defense, how quick De Los Santos is, the power of De Los Santos. The challenge that I've seen with De Los Santos in the fights that I've seen is that he can become overly aggressive. He can become overly aggressive. He is aggressive. He doesn't mind getting in there and mixing it up, but he can become overly aggressive. And because of that, I believe that Shakur Stevenson will find opportunities to pick him off as he's trying to come in with some of those quick shots. And I believe it'll take Shakur 3 or 4 rounds to start to get his timing before all of a sudden you start to see Shakur really start to pick him apart. Now, again, if De Los Santos can land something early, I think he can change the trajectory of the fight quite quickly in terms of what Shakur is willing to do. However, if he doesn't change the trajectory of the fight in the first 4, let's call it 4 or 5 rounds, I just see Shakur Stevenson taking over in the middle to late rounds and ultimately being successful in this fight, more than likely by unanimous decision. That's the way that I see it. But I'm looking forward to a firework type fight in the beginning as Shakur Stevenson tries to play the matador against Edwin De Los Santos. Jay, what are your thoughts in regards to this particular fight and how it might play out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll take a little time for Shakur to figure him out. And I think Shakur also will frustrate him. I think he'll look to frustrate De Los Santos because Shakur is a wizard on the defensive end. And that can frustrate a lot of fighters who are used to making contact with another fighter. You know, also it's going to tire him out. You keep swinging and missing, you're going to get tired. You're going to get desperate. And then Shakur can just pick him apart. So, yeah, the whole notion about maybe about 4 rounds, he'll get him figured out. I agree with that. But it's going to be interesting to your point. De Los Santos has power. He's fast as well. And he's also a southpaw. So it's going to be southpaw versus southpaw, which is going to be interesting to see how they both interact with one another from that, both of them being southpaws. De Los Santos is game. And I think Shakur's, I don't think he's overlooking him, you know, but I think Shakur is very confident, which he's always is. But this ain't gonna be like the Valdez. I don't think he's not gonna have the complete size advantage. He's at a disadvantage for the reach for one. That's not normal, you know. So De Santos is gonna have to work his jab out there and keep him at bay, but he can't be silly with his aggression because Shakur is just gonna pick that apart. I know in one interview that De Santos camp said Shakur runs. I completely disagree with that. Shakur stays in the pocket more than most fighters, and he plays great defense. You know, just because you be on a back foot from time to time doesn't mean you're running. Shakur has a great defense, and he will sit there and make you miss and make you pay. I don't see Shakur really knocking him out, per se, unless he just catching something with something he don't see. You know, that can always knock anyone out when you don't see it coming. But I could see Shakur winning this. Be close, a little tight in the first four or 5 rounds. Then round 6, 7, Shakur starts putting his will on, enforcing his will on him, and just keeping him frustrated and just keep him at bay. And I think he'll win a unanimous decision on over De Santos. Now, De Santos does have a chance. He has a puncher's chance. And Shakur can't get clipped like he got clipped against Valdez. You know, he got clipped against someone. I think it was Robinson, I think, clipped him once or twice, and it made Shakur perk up a little bit on that. But I don't think either one of them had the power that De Santos is. And also Valdez is much smaller fighter. We noticed that when they got in the ring against each other, Shakur, like he was a 154 and Valdez was 126. So that's going to be a difference also because they're going to be closer in size. And with that reach disadvantage that Shakur has, we'll see how Shakur uses his defense to avoid the length of De Santos.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. I think I'm looking forward to it. I know it's on an unusual day, Thursday. I think it's going to start with like 10 or 10:30 or something to that effect.
Like 10:30.
I'm looking forward to the opportunity to see Shakur Stevenson in action, to see how he deals with somebody like De Los Santos. I mean, fast, got power. It's going to be an interesting fight, and I think Shakur is going to get the opportunity to show his mettle and why there's levels to this game. And
great.
I know a lot of people. It's interesting because I saw somebody in the comment section, Jay, and they say we don't give Shakur. All we do is come on here and say negative things about Shakur Stevenson or Terrence Crawford, and it's just I can't remember who the person was, but they said they're two generational talents, and all we do is say negative things. And it's so clear to me sometimes that people really do not listen to this channel, or they have an inability to understand non-binary thinking. Right? You don't have to see. Seriously, like everything isn't black and white. Arguments are nuanced. They're nuanced, right? So you don't have to have, you don't have to think about things in one specific way. You can think things are complex. People are complex. And so we have nothing but the utmost respect for Shakur Stevenson and believe that he is the goods. We've said it on multiple occasions. I think he's going to end up showing that he's the goods in this particular fight again against De Los Santos. But again, De Los Santos is a live dog, like I mentioned before. If he can catch him with something early in the fight to get Shakur Stevenson respect or hurt Shakur Stevenson, you could see the trajectory of the fight change. I truly do believe that, Jay.
I agree. And Shakur said he got, he had a big debate on. He did an interview the other day. He was kind of upset because people was talking about how he said he got hurt by Valdez from a body shot. He said, "Yeah, when I said that, I just meant, everyone gets hurt from time to time. I don't mean like I haven't been hurt up here.
Yeah, he hasn't been buzzed.
That's true and everything, but if you get buzzed and you get hurt, I mean, it's boxing. You're gonna get hurt sooner or later. Just the level of it. And De Santos has power to really hurt you. I don't think he can play around with De Los Santos like he did with Valdez. He played around with Valdez a lot in that fight. I don't think this is the guy he wants to play with. I think he needs to stay on his P's and Q's and just handle business. Take it as a business meeting and take it as that. Don't play around with this dude because this dude, he's a live dog, like you said. He's not someone easy walkover. He's not pillow fisted like a lot of other fighters he's fought. This dude can crack. He needs to be conscious of that.
So, what do you have? What's your prediction?
I still got Shakur by a unanimous decision.
Same. I got him by unanimous decision. I would be surprised though if he knocked him out, and Shakur would show another level to his game, another aspect to his game if he's able to get him up out of there. You guys tell me what you think in the comment section in regards to this particular fight. What is your prediction? Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, on Sports Media, and we are